Okay, so I'm going to show you how to determine the concentration of an aniline in solution using titration. So first you want to begin by having all your materials, and what you're going to need to do part one is you're going to need a waste beaker, a burette clamp, a burette stand, distilled water, phenolphthalein indicator, 100 graduated cylinder milliliters, an Erlenmeyer flask, some KHP, about 0.2 grams, and 70 milliliters of NaOH. Okay, so after you let that drain into the waste beaker, you're going to stop it up, and then you're going to pour up to about 5 milliliters using the NaOH solution in the burette, and then you're just going to let the air bubbles drain out by opening it and closing it. And then we're going to move on to weighing our Erlenmeyer flask with the analytical balance. So you put it in there, you get the mass, you record that, and then you add some KHP in there, and then you want to approximate 0.2 grams, and you would get the mass of that so you can find the exact mass of the KHP you used. And then you would just add 40 milliliters of distilled water into here, and then you would remove the waste beaker, put the Erlenmeyer flask there under the burette, add 3 drops of phenolphthalein indicator, and then you would just slowly, before you do anything, you want to get your initial reading on the NaOH solution, and then you would just slowly begin adding NaOH until you got a light pink color, and then you'd stop it and get the final recording of NaOH in the burette. Okay, so now for part 2, when we're going to use HNO3 as our aniline in solution, we're going to begin by just using the NaOH that's still in the beaker, and you're just going to get the initial again, and then you're going to add 3 milliliters of HCl. Make sure you write down to 2 significant figures using the 10 milliliter graduated cylinder. Pour it into this beaker. Add 40 milliliters of distilled water. Okay, so after you do that, you're just going to add 3 drops of phenolphthalein indicator, 1, 2, 3, and then you're going to slowly titrate again until pale pink color persists, and then you'll get the final reading on the NaOH. And then you're all done.